Let's get some unique perspective now on what's happening inside Ukraine and the decisions being made outside that will likely impact the progress of the Russian invasion. We're joined now live by former Ukraine ambassador to the U.S., Kostyantyn Gryshchenko. Ambassador, thank you for making time. It's good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I know at one point you were also Ukraine's ambassador to Russia. What was the relationship like at that time, and did you fear this is something that Putin would actually do?
No, I don't believe that at that time, when I was ambassador there, anyone would contemplate such a possibility. We did have different views on history, different views on what should be the future of Ukraine and Russia, but we never thought, at least I haven't heard from anyone, having ambition, having any kind of design to use military force en masse against civilians as it happens today. It is something unbelievable and totally inconceivable before.
Most of the world is condemning him. Obviously, China is another story, but most of the world is coming together, Europe coming together, NATO, a strong alliance, getting stronger in the face of this. They're repudiating everything that he's doing. Does that matter to him? Your take on his psychology, his motivation, is there anything at this point that would shut him down short of force?
I think that starting with the Georgian War, and then later 2014, annexation of Crimea, he really started on escalating ladder, which led to what we see now. And I think he wants to get a victory, as he understands it. But one should not be deceived by the idea that it will stop with Ukraine. Ukraine can only be the next stage of what is an escalating ladder which he climbs, and climbs to the top from where he can only go to hell. And unfortunately, again, when we discuss non-fly zone or the distinct possibility that there will be direct conflict between NATO and Russia, if it not happens now, it will happen later. He namely needs to get a sense that he cannot do whatever he wishes to. Here we have a major humanitarian crisis. We need to allow the Ukrainian armed forces to fight on a level field game, where at least some countermeasures, electronic, airborne or ground-based systems would provide assistance and protection from airstrikes. It is possible. I believe one simply needs to understand that if Putin sees a resolute, united West, NATO countries, not simply the statement that it is too dangerous, then he will stop. I believe that it's only a few days before Russia and Putin will understand that the price for his invasion is too steep, too high, and would provide major risks for his own reign in Russia. One needs to be more united, and one needs to take certain risk, which I don't believe is unreasonable. That is something which has all the grounds and has history. There were good examples of non-fly zone, and at least to protect the civilians which are running away from this conflict and help avoid the major destruction of infrastructure. That is something that should be the major focal point of what the West could do.
Ambassador, you know for now the Biden administration remains opposed to that and continues to make statements that it would lead them, they believe, into an incursion directly with Russia and explode this way beyond just Ukraine. Quickly, we've just got a few seconds left. Your message to them in response?
You know, if anyone thought that they could stop them from doing what they've done recently in the last few days, they were mistaken. And now we see the desire of all the politicians in the West to move further, to bring more sanctions, very serious sanctions. And I think that next stage, it will not be driven by the desire to avoid war, because to avoid war, one needs to be resolute and to take certain risks which are reasonable. And the reasonable risk is really to insist on non-fly zone.
Ambassador, we thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, being with us tonight. God bless you and your country.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.